Now that we know about demand and supply, let's put them together and talk about market equilibrium. Market equilibrium and the tendency of a market to go towards equilibrium is a very powerful concept for economists. We use that idea to predict how markets behave and what's going to happen when other things happen to a market. So we want to understand two very important situations. Equilibrium. Market equilibrium and the tendency of a market to go towards equilibrium is a very powerful concept for economists. We use that idea to predict how markets behave and what's going to happen when other things happen to a market. So we want to understand two very important situations. Anytime there's an excess demand in a market, which is when there's a higher quantity demanded than there is quantity supplied, what we're going to show is this causes the price to rise. Anytime there's an excess supply, what we'll show is this causes the price to drop. Now we can think about why that might be the case. Suppose there's an excess demand. That means there's a lot of people out there that want to buy something that is not currently being produced and sold. In this situation, we would expect to see prices to rise to get rid of that excess demand. If there's an excess supply, well then there's a lot more being produced than people are willing to buy, and we would tend to see inventories rise. Under those circumstances, producers would see we're producing too much, we need to get rid of these inventories, let's drop our price and increase the quantity demanded so that we can sell what we already have. Let's look at this graph, why we get to market equilibrium. First, let's look at the example of the price being $6. Here we're looking at the market for pizzas, and if the price is $6, we can go over to the demand curve and down, and we can see that the quantity demanded at that price is 36,000 pizzas per month. If we go over to the supply curve and down, we can see that the quantity supplied is 20,000 pizzas per month. This creates this excess demand. Anytime there's an excess demand, we would expect to see prices rise. And so prices are going to go up until we get to where there is no excess demand anymore, and that's at this point A, where the quantity supplied equals the quantity demanded. That's true at a price of $8. Now let's look at the other side of the market. Suppose the price is $12. At the price of $12, we can go over the demand curve and down, and we can see that the quantity demanded is 18,000 pizzas per month. If we go over to the supply curve and down, we can see that the quantity supplied is 50,000 pizzas per month, and we have an excess supply of pizzas. Anytime there's an excess supply, there's pressure on prices to fall, and when the prices fall, they're going to go down and continue going down until we get to equilibrium at the point A, where the price is equal to $8 and the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied is equal to 30,000 pizzas per month. Anytime the price is too high, prices fall. Anytime the price is too low, prices rise. So the market will automatically go back to a price of $8. This is what we call equilibrium. It's the only price where there's no pressure on prices to change. And the market goes there automatically. This becomes a very powerful concept when we try to analyze markets, analyze where markets are going to end up, and look at the effect of different shocks on markets.